This presentation will hopefully help you write your introduction to the individual project. The introduction is at the bottom half of page 6, and it doesn't need to be any longer than half a page. So what is it? It is the opening paragraph of your research project. What does it do? It introduces the main idea of your project. It tells the examiner exactly what they're going to be reading. A good opening paragraph will capture the examiner's interest, and it'll outline why your topic is important. So how do you write one? Well, you should begin your introduction by outlining what the topic or issue that you've chosen to research is. So, for example, what I've chosen to research, blah blah blah, these are the reasons why. So that's bullet point number 2, including a personal explanation as to why you have chosen this topic. It would be a good idea here if you can make a link with an area of interest to you, or a topic linked to your future career or educational aspirations. Now, you're probably not doing a project on something that you're not interested in, so that should be fairly straightforward. It's just a case of justifying in your introduction why you've chosen that particular topic. In your intro, you need to make sure that you are providing some background information about your topic, stuff that you already know about it. So I'll be looking here at interesting facts, quotations, definitions of important terms that you will use later on in the project. Finally, to wrap up your intro, you need to include a hypothesis of what you think you might find. What we mean here is a prediction. Now obviously your title will be in the form of a question, so what do you think you're going to find out? Are you going to be able to answer this question one way or the other? Put that in your hypothesis. Put that in the introduction. It's not a bad thing if you don't end up being able to answer that question, or if your hypothesis turns out to be wrong. It's just a prediction. So sometimes it's good to see what an example looks like. Now I'm not going to read this out, you can read this yourself, but this is from the same example I used in the previous video. This person talks about bilingualism and whether it should be compulsory to speak 2 languages or not. So while we have a read through, we can see that the good points about this intro is that it's full of facts about the subject. This person mentions that someone who speaks more than 1 language usually earns 20% more than the average person. It tells the reader what they intend to do in the project down towards the end. During this project, I hope to answer my title question by evaluating the various benefits, etc., etc. And they're not mixing up their tenses. It's written really well. They've used the future tense to outline the plan for the project. In the past, we've had projects which are quite muddled, in a bit of a jumble, different tenses all over the place. Because you will be doing this project, you will be doing the research, you need to ensure that you're in the future tense. Now, although this person had a really good mark for their introduction, there are some negative points as well. For example, they don't actually provide a reason why they've decided to do it on bilingualism. So that would have made this introduction better. There are 1 or 2 controversial statements in this as well, saying that Welsh is a dead language. Now, please avoid statements like this. We don't need to go into that sort of we don't want that sort of controversy in your project. And finally, there is no prediction made. There's no hypothesis. They don't outline what they're expecting to find. If they had avoided these negative points, they would be looking at a better introduction example. And that's all you need to look at, really. This was roughly half a page of page 6, just enough space there to write your introduction. That's all you need to do. Feel free to use this as an example. Be aware of all the good points and all the negative points that I've just rattled through, and hopefully that will help you with writing your own introduction. A good idea would be, if you're not sure, write your introduction, send it to your Welsh Bacc teacher, who will look at it and give you advice and guide you further.